Hey you guys, welcome back to Vannareels. We're back with another review, and today we're going to be reviewing Malcolm and Marie. So if you guys had a chance to catch Malcolm and Marie, it premiered last Friday on Netflix. And I'm actually glad that I didn't watch the trailer before I watched this movie, because I feel like if I would have watched the trailer, I probably would have skipped over it. So I'm glad that I skipped over the trailer and I just went straight into watching it, because I wasn't expecting it to be a one scene, well, I guess one location and two actors. I guess I'm glad I didn't do that kind of research into it, because I feel like I wouldn't have given it a chance at all. So Malcolm Marie is pretty much a film about a filmmaker and his girlfriend, and they're coming back home from a movie premiere of his, and they kind of are discussing their relationship, and they're having a full-out fight. So pretty much the whole movie we're watching them have this continuous argument that has probably been an issue in their relationship since they've been together. So the movie kind of starts out with them first getting home, and Malcolm is pretty much talking about the premiere night, how it went, how he felt about it. And then Marie is just kind of lingering around the house, kind of feeling like, you know, I don't really care what's going on. Like, I love you, boo, but like, this is a lot. So then it starts out with Marie making mac and cheese for Malcolm. So I really like the way that they played that part out, because I feel like in relationships, you know how people always say, like, sometimes arguments start off with something like you're talking about furniture, you might be talking about a movie, or something small that literally turns into it being about your relationship. Something so simple is literally a metaphor for your relationship. So I'm glad that they really used the mac and cheese in a way to kind of play on that, like in reality. But here's where I really was just kind of like, I think what was hard for me was I would have preferred this film to be a play. Like if it was set where there was an actual audience, but I get it with COVID, this probably wouldn't have really happened. But I feel like the fact that it was set in one location, we only had two actors, you kind of are sitting through an hour and 46 minutes of a couple arguing. That's pretty much what you're sitting through. So I feel like for people who aren't regular moviegoers, imagine if they would have went to the movie theater and tried to see this. But I will say that that wasn't my biggest issue with the movie. So, well, I would say it is my biggest issue with the movie, but it didn't overall affect what I felt about the movie, because I really loved how this movie sparked conversation. So I just kind of watched on Twitter and other social media platforms people talk about this movie and their difference in opinions, and I even discussed it with my sister and a few of my friends. So I really loved hearing how everybody felt about it, and how, you know, they felt like this may have reflected a past relationship, or this may have reflected someone they know that's been through that, or something similar of that style of argument, or having a partner who is, you know, slightly verbally abusive and, you know, toxic. There are so many toxic partners, and I feel like it was a way for people to really see, like, damn, do I argue like that? It just really gives you a moment to question, how do you handle what you have going on? And I thought that was pretty cool. How the director utilized that. Okay, so what I really loved was John David Washington. I'm already a sucker for him in the first place because of Ballers. And then I really liked him in Black Klansman. I haven't watched Tenet yet, but I'm trying to watch that soon. So hopefully I can get to watch Tenet shortly and review that. But I feel like John David Washington is a much stronger actor than Zendaya. So for me, when he did his monologue scenes, I was more into his than I was into Zendaya's. Like, she's not, I wouldn't say she's not a good actress, but she's not a strong actress to me from when it comes to like taking a character seriously. So I'm not gonna lie, it was hard for me to really get into Marie's character in the beginning. But I will say, when she did her monologue in the middle of their argument, when she was describing to him that well, she was describing to Malcolm that, you know, I can't believe you didn't ask me to be a star in your movie when you pretty much used my life story as a part of inspiration for your film, and you didn't thank me. And so he said, you know, he pretty much was like, well, you don't really act, and, you know, that's not really your thing. And she came back into the living room and did a whole scene for him. Literally, I thought it was a part of her character as far as in the midst of their argument, but she was showing him that I can play this role, and the fact that you doubted me, it says a lot. Like, how do you really feel about me as an actress or as a person or your partner? So I really loved how they dove deep into different types of issues in relationships. Like, granted, everybody doesn't go through exactly what was described in the movie, but you know, it was a lot of realism here. And then what I also like was a lot of people, I noticed that a lot of people were viewing it and they were focusing on the fact that the director wanted to focus on the argument and a couple being toxic for each other. But I don't think people really paid attention to the fact that the director also wanted to show, I don't know if Zendaya or John David Washington had anything to do with this, but talking about the struggles of being a black filmmaker in the industry. Granted, the director is white, but I like that he included a lot of the injustices that go on in the film industry even to this day. Whenever a black filmmaker creates a movie or anything, critics are always talking about, oh, you know, this is such and such, and it always has to be about struggle. All the time. Whenever it's related to a minority creating a film, the critic always has to relate back to something that has to do with struggle, or they have to make a story about struggling. And I like that they pointed that out because I feel like that's very true. So I don't know. I saw that Zendaya and I think John David Washington had some producer credits going on in the movie. So I wonder if they had a role in playing to some of those lines being put in there during Malcolm's monologue scene where he discusses being black in filmmaking. So I'm glad that was included. But overall, I would suggest people to watch this movie because it's not your average cookie cutter film, and it is what it is. And they also discussed that in the movie about sometimes people are watching films because they're looking for a fantasy, or they're looking for something that's like an altered reality, or something that feels like, oh, it's a perfect world, a perfect ending. And this movie didn't have a perfect ending. It didn't have a perfect middle. It didn't have a perfect beginning. It was raw. I feel like it was raw as it could get on Netflix, but I feel like it was as raw as it needed to be. Like, it didn't need much else. You needed the director wanted you to focus on the fight. That was it. It wasn't no need for anything else. You didn't need to be at the premiere. You didn't need none of that. I know people might have wanted the premiere to be there, but that was not the focus of the film. The director seriously wanted you to focus on what was happening in front of you, and that's it. And I'm glad that it was shot the way it was. I love that it was shot in black and white. The cinematography was dope that it was done in black and white. I love that. And then the play into the old school music, when they were in the middle of their argument, like they both played like different songs about how they were feeling. And I love that. That was super cool. Like, I mean, the location was dope. The house was beautiful. I mean, I know that's not important, but I thought they did a pretty good job with this movie. I wouldn't say it's like it deserves 10 stars because it doesn't, but I do feel like this movie deserves a shot at being viewed, and people should give it a chance. And I think this movie did exactly what they wanted it to do. They wanted it to spark conversations about relationships. They wanted to ruffle a few feathers. I feel like that's really what they wanted. I don't think they were looking for people to be like, oh my god, I love this movie, so amazing. Oh my god, I loved everything about it. It made me feel good. I think it was supposed to make you feel uneasy. It was supposed to make you question, like, oh my god, am I toxic? Or is my partner toxic? I mean, because sometimes people are toxic. So I definitely would give this movie, I've been kind of teetering on a 6.5 or a 6 or a 6.5, I would say, out of 10 is what my Vannareels rating is for this film. You know, I can't really give it anything higher because it wasn't like there was much to play off of. You literally had one location, two characters, and the fight was the main plot. Granted, I'm not saying this was bad or anything, but just, you know, I would prefer it to be a play. Then I probably would have rated it a little higher, because it was hard to get through that hour and 46 minutes. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little tired. Because it was just like the fight was never ending. But in relationships, sometimes fights are never ending. But okay, I know I'm skipping all over the place, but it was one thing I didn't get to talk about. The fact that Mark was just dragging her to pieces about her drug addiction. I mean, that really bothered me. I'm not gonna lie to you, it really bothered me, like how he couldn't see how upset she was, like, about, you didn't thank me at all as your partner. You went down the list and line of people to thank, and the one person you could have thanked also was me. And I feel like, you know, I could relate to that. You know, sometimes you may be with a partner who literally just does not appreciate you, and it's so frustrating because they will appreciate everybody else in their life, but you, it's like pulling teeth to get them to appreciate you. So I feel like I was able to resonate with that. And, you know, all I got to say to Marie is, you know, you should really leave that relationship, because their relationship was toxic. But, you know, hey, everybody can do what they want to do. It was fictional characters, but I'm just saying, if you are Marie or you are Malcolm out here, y'all need to part ways or go to therapy. That's really what it is, because that right there all the time, toxic. But yes, I would give this film a 6 or a 6.5, and that's my Vannareels rating. You guys, please let me know in the comments what you guys feel about the film. You know, let me know what you guys think. I love to hear your opinions. I love that this is a conversational film, and, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing more from Zendaya and John David Washington on the big screens. Definitely John David Washington. I hate that I have to pronounce his whole name like this, because it sounds kind of weird, because I'm trying to make sure I say it in the right order. But y'all, I am just goo over him, child. Oof, he's so fine. But I am looking forward to seeing more from both of them on the big screen. You know, shout outs to them. And this is Vannareels coming at you. Like, comment, subscribe, share, run it up for your girl. Oh, and then today we're featuring a black owned business. This is a t-shirt from the Brunch Gods, so definitely check them out. I'm gonna link them below in my in the description bar, their website, so you can go check them out. If you love brunch, you need to check out the Brunch Gods if you're in the Baltimore area. All right, love you guys, peace out.